All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. We have gymnastics head coach John Court and Malia Hargrove here. Our first question will go to Sean Fagan.
Thank you both for being here. Malia, I'd like to ask you, where were you when you found out the news that you were going to the national championship, and what were you doing?
Well, I was at home, my apartment, and I was doing physics homework. And then my mom called me and she asked, she said, guess what? And I was just like, what? And she asked me if I watched the finals for gymnastics, but I told her no because I was doing homework. And then she said that I made it to nationals, and I was just like, okay. I don't know how to feel. I was like really excited, but also just like flabbergasted because I was like just sitting at home doing homework, and then she was like, "You're going to nationals," and I was like, oh, "Okay, yeah."
So, as an athlete, obviously, as you had just said, it sounded like you're sort of just like decompressing and gaining back into the life as a student. So, how then do you feel that if any, you have to sort of refocus and get back into that mode of being competitive again and going back and starting a heavy dose of training as you now prepare to go up against the best gymnasts in the country?
Initially I was like, well, I thought season was over, so I was just like, okay, season's over now. You can focus on school. And then my mom called me, and I was like, oh, season's not over. So then I had to really like sit down and think and be like, okay, we still have 2 more weeks. I'm only doing floor, easy peasy. I've had so much training in like all before that for preseason and during the actual season. So postseason should be easy breezy. And yeah, I mean, we've been preparing all season, so I felt pretty prepared to do 2 more weeks and finish it up.
So your routine on floor is actually very difficult. I believe your career high is around a 9.9. But as you know, going up against the best gymnasts in the country on floor, they're probably going to bring their best routines as well, which can score at times even higher. So do you feel where your routine stands right now? Do you feel that it's difficult enough to get you that score that you want to place first? Or do you feel that there's some changes you may need to make to sort of make it even more difficult?
I feel that my routine is difficult enough. It's just cleaning up the little details. So like for my landings, I have to be more sharper, and then for my leap, I have to hit the full 180, and it's just cleaning up stuff. But skill wise, I know I can score really well and do really well and place with girls on the top teams. I feel.
And then, Coach, I was wondering, what does it mean to you to see one of your gymnasts that has worked so hard and become one of the best on the team to now go to the national championships as a coach? How does it feel for you to see her do that, as especially how you've been here the whole time as well?
Well, it makes me and the staff look really smart in the recruiting process. I can tell you that. But Malia is, she's an awesome person. She works very hard. She's extremely humble, and I mean, and this is any athlete's goal to finish on the last night of the season, and that's the goal for everyone in our program. That's the goal for our team. So for us to, it doesn't matter sometimes how you get there. It doesn't matter what you have to go through during the process because there's going to be ups and downs in every season. We work in college athletics, but this is the reward for the hard work, and I think it's something that for her, I want her to have an incredible experience when she's there. That's the most important thing to me. But coming back from that, she's a sophomore. This was her first postseason. Postseason didn't happen last year because of COVID. So her and our entire team made the most of their postseason, which was the Pac-12 championships and the NCAA's. We played in the second round. We improved our national ranking by 10 spots. So there's a lot of momentum going into next season. This is certainly like the cherry on top, for finishing off this season. But the experiences and the knowledge that she'll bring back from Fort Worth to apply to next year's team, because she's not going to be an underclassman anymore. She's going to be an upperclassman. She's going to be a junior. So to have those experiences of competing at that level with everybody else and bringing that experience and sharing that with her other teammates is going to be very important for next year. But I fully expect to go to Texas with her. We're going to have a great time.
And then as a coach, as we know, a postseason play is different at times. And now that it's just Malia going to the championships, is there anything that you change in your strategy as a coach in terms of training or in terms of focus or knowledge of how to prepare for such a stage as this?
No, actually we don't, because when we got there, we wanted to focus on execution, execution, execution. And I remember when she finished her routine, I said, I've been waiting all year for you to do that routine. And to, let's say, all of you, the routine might look the same as the other 8 that she did. But when you train her every day, it's like she stayed down in her landings. She presented really well, tons of energy, hit the 180s. And it's like, that's going to score. And there were 4 judge panels, high and the low get thrown out. It was just 9 nines. We had 4 of a kind across the board. There's going to be 6 judges, I believe, at NCAAs, and it's going to be based on execute, execute, execute. Training her every single day on floor, well, that wouldn't help her. She doesn't do that during the regular season. So we've stayed pretty much on the same training regimen over the last few days, which includes her recovery, her rest days, and obviously, we did floor routines today, and she'll be training a little bit in the morning before we fly out.
Next question, Kim Doss.
Malia, you're rotating with Alabama, right?
Yes.
Yes. What's that like? How does that process work? How do you think you'll feel being with the other team? What's that? What are you looking forward to?
I'm honestly just looking forward to being able to be with such a team that is so high up ranked, and I can't wait to just meet the girls and just see what their team is like and how they compete together. I've heard that usually teams are really nice to the individual, so I'm not really worried about them. I'm actually really excited though to meet the girls, because I feel like with COVID and just like regular season, you're not able to be with other teams and you're solely focused on yourself and like what you can do for the team, but just being able to rotate with and just watch the other girls as they compete, I think it'll be very exciting to watch them and compete with them.
John, last time Arizona had an individual champion was Heidi Hornbeek, wasn't it?
I mean, as far as a national champion, yes. Our
Yeah.
last individual qualifier was Lexi Mills. I think that was in 2016, and that was on balance beam. So she's the first to go since Lexi did in 2016, and I think rotating with Alabama will be it will be a lot of fun. It's Olympic rotation. Alabama has 4 different individuals, including Malia, rotating also. So it'll be Olympic rotation, and she anchors our lineup. It's going to kind of be like anchoring their lineup, because one of the things that we've talked about is that she's going to be the last routine of the night at session 2 of the national championships. So it's going to be 2,500 spectators, all teams, all judges. She'll be the only athlete doing her thing. And I just say, embrace it all. Go out there. You climb the mountain. You're up there, and go out there and do your stuff. But that's what that moment is going to be like. We've had a few individuals in that same moment, and it's how you prepare for it. She's ready to go, and I think that she deserves everything that comes along with this experience. And I'm very proud of her.
And what has Taylor said to you about being a national champion, Malia? I mean, she's had it on beam. I mean, have you talked to her about that experience?
I've talked to her a little bit about it, or she's explained to me what it's like and how it's like an honor to go to nationals and be able to compete, whether or not it's with your team or an individual, and that I made it, so I should be proud, and that I should compete the best I've ever competed and leave it out on the floor, because that's the end, and then that's the end of the season. So I'm going to go big and hopefully make her proud.
Mm-hmm.
Next question, Alec White.
Yeah, this is for Coach. Coach, when you recruited Malia, did you anticipate she was somebody that could be a national champion or make this stage?
1,000% I did.
And what traits stood out to her that led you to believe that?
Well, we actually met at camp. She came here and she was a camper when she was in high school. That's how that was our first experience coaching her. And she was fast. She's quick twitched. She's very coachable. I'm like, wow, we need to learn a little bit more about her. Considering camp was full, she almost didn't get into camp. So just kind of ironic. And she committed to us so early in high school. We were able to just establish a really good relationship over the course of three and a half years. But we also knew that we were bringing in so many people. Her being who she is as a person and an athlete, those are the types of people you want to build your programs around. So absolutely, we saw something in her, as a potential student athlete. I mean, academics. I mean, she's a engineering. Which division of engineering are you?
Optical science.
Optical.
Engineering.
I don't know what that is. There's no way I could help with her homework, so we don't have to worry about any of that stuff, any of those violations or anything, because she would fail if I helped her with her schoolwork. But listen to that major, and I tell us she's going to do great things here. She's going to do great things when she leaves here. But she's special, as are a lot of the ladies on our team. So did I expect big things? Yes. 1,000%. So did the other coaches. And this was, if you look at the numbers from this year compared to last year with her, trending north. And you can always tell sometimes as a coach the direction the athletes are going to take between their freshman year and their sophomore year. She came back in the fall better than when she left in the spring of the year before. She made the most of the summer. And that was on her own. That was during COVID. That wasn't here. And she was able to upgrade on 2 different events. And actually, she competed bars all season. She wasn't able to do that last year. So made a tremendous impact on our team.
And then for Malia, Coach just talked about the strides you've made. What do you think has allowed you to be that successful and make those strides as a gymnast?
Well, for the first part, I think the people that have helped me get as far as I've gotten, my coaches, from club and from college, and just all the support I've gained from them and like my teammates, my family, that has been very helpful during this long journey from being in high school to transitioning to college gymnastics to transitioning to sophomore year and transitioning from non-COVID to COVID and how all that changed. And also I think I love the sport. I love doing what I can do, and I want to be good at what I do. So I work hard every single day. I do what I need to do. I do the programs. I finish the assignments. Yeah, I think that's why I'm where I am right now.
Next question will go back to Sean.
So, Coach, you mentioned that the competition is in San Antonio. Do you know which arena it's at and which day and days it'll be?
I'm sorry, it's at Dickey's Arena in Fort Worth. So it's downtown. It's a brand new arena. It's our first year in that arena with the new contract for national. It's going to be held there, I think, the next 3 years, at least the next 2. So I have never been in that arena before, actually.
Thanks. And oh, sorry, you were saying something, Coach?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, for sure. And Malia, now that we just found out that you're actually going last, do you feel sort of relieved in that sense because you'll be able to see every single routine, then knowing which score it is that you have to beat in order to, say, place in a certain position or place first overall?
I mean, yeah, it's nice to be able to sit back for a little bit and watch how Alabama does and how they score. But really, I don't think I'm really worried about how other people's scores and what I have to do to beat other people. I think I'm more invested in going out there, soaking up the moment, doing the best routine I've done this whole year. And I mean, if I did what I know I can do, then I shouldn't really be worried about whether or not I score high enough to beat people or, yeah.
Next question, go back to Kim.
John, I know last year you kind of pieced floor together. You had people competing who hadn't competed in a while. Is it any surprise that floor would be where you guys put someone in nationals?
It could have been anywhere. It really could have been anywhere. We had a really good regional meet, and did we had some awesome performances. We had 3 event highs at that competition. So pretty much to move out, it's going to take a 9-9 or certainly better. We had some of those on the events. It was a new floor lineup this year. You knew what we lost certainly last year, and the athletes worked really, really hard. We kind of had a hybrid training plan, and we received our highest score of the season because they performed up to the best level that they did all season. And the scoring is just a reflection of the work that goes into the gymnastics during the week. And I always say, if we do our job during the week, we can really, really just kind of clap and cheer loud on the weekends because we know that they're ready to go. And that's what happened at that regional meet. And we had a really good game plan going into it. The athletes executed it very, very well, and we're very proud of them. But 3 highs on 3 events, it could have went to so many different people. I'm glad it went to her. I'm glad it went to someone who was wearing an Arizona leotard. That's for sure. And hopefully in the future, everyone goes. That's always the main goal.
Next question, David Kelly.
Hey, John, refresh my memory real quick. You guys added a new jump, I believe, at the beginning of Malia's routine earlier in the year. Is that correct? Do I remember that correctly?
No, we didn't add any jumps to her routine. That was another routine that we added. Her routine, we switched. Well, we added a new tumbling pass. That's what we did for her routine. So
it was at the beginning, though, right? Wasn't I think it was the first tumbling pass. So
Yep, sure.
what was that addition? And then explain to me what the addition was, and then Malia, just kind of how that all came together and what was difficult maybe about that particular pass.
Last year, she competed double pike. She had a season high of 9.9. She was really consistent in the 9.8 ranges. When she was in club, she competed a full in back out, which is a full twisting double back, with the full in being on the first twist. The tuck position is on the second flip. It's an E level skill, which is a highest degree of difficulty in gymnastics that you can do, which is an E, so it's worth more than what she did before. And it's something that she worked on over the summer, and she was able to come in, practice it, and get consistent. And when we reached a point where we said, okay, this is really consistent, this is just as easy as doing the other thing for you, because she just has a really good amount of natural talent, it was like, hey, let's make the switch. But we also know there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve on that. But we knew that we had a strong floor team. She did go last. Her teammates set her up, and she executed and did what she needed to do. And we competed a lot more than I thought from what we were going to do. We actually stayed with it all year. And but it's definitely a high level skill. She does it really well, and we're happy that it went in. If she would have did, honestly, I think that if she would have did last year's floor routine, we wouldn't be sitting here on this podium right now having this conversation. I think that doing the extra difficulty, she did the full in. She also did a Yurchenko 1.5 at the meet as well. Those are the skills that we have to push the envelope on, just not her, but just our entire team to keep rising up in rankings. But you can ask her story behind it for sure. I'd like to hear it myself.
Yeah, Malia. So when he presented you with that, what were your thoughts and about trying it and developing it?
He presented me with it, I think.
Yeah,
She
I
broke.
was who asked John about it because, I mean, yeah, I was good at doing the double pike at the beginning, and I got solid scores. But I wanted to up the level and do a full in that I did back in high school, because I mean I did it in high school for like 2 years, and I scored pretty well with that. So coming to college, like, I wanted to bring out all the skills that I knew how to do, the big skills, and be able to perform with that. And I think the hardest part about that was just learning how to land it, because I had enough power to be able to like get around and make it, but it was just making the landings solid so that I wouldn't get that much deduction. But yeah, I came to John and I was like, I want to do my e-pass again because I think I could score really well. And I mean, why not? It's an e-pass. Like,
Yes,
bring it out.
she does it really well. So she made me look smart. That's for sure.
Just so it's for that one pass, like how do judges score that? Do they look at that and do they score that the same way they would score the entire routine?
Well, I think of it this way, David. 80%, I would say, of college gymnasts in their first pass might do the same pass. The other 20% might have e-tumbling passes. So the judges know the E is a little bit harder, but it's also more impressive. So I would like to think that they reward it a little bit more if it's done correctly.
Do we have any more questions for Coach Court or Malia?
I do like this turnout. We have so many people on the screen, so this might be the last time we all talk this year. So I hope everyone is safe and hope everyone has managed COVID. All of you. I've read some of the articles, and obviously, Kim, you've been with us for a while. David, I enjoy seeing you on the tube there and the tweets that you send out. Still waiting for you to come up and try that triple turn on beam. I know that you want to challenge Jessica to that. Looking forward to seeing that, by the way. But certainly, what we're going through as a program, what she's going to be going through in Texas, that we want that to be our new standard. So we're hoping that we garner this type of attention for all the right reasons, in the fall and certainly going to our competition season. So we'd like to see everyone again, and certainly we're an open book. We love to talk about our athletes and promote our program. So feel free to contact us anytime.
You guys have fun.
We will. There's some great barbecue down there. Gonna grab some in Fort Worth. So
Great.
Good
Thank
luck,
you for your
guys.
time, everybody.
stay safe and bear down to all of you.
Bear down.
All righty.